Hey guys, it's Marissa from Grow in the Flow, and I'm coming in here for the first time in so long to do a week ahead energy reading. It is Monday, August 29th, and I'm feeling the pull to tune into some collective energy for this week ahead. Just everything is feeling like it's kind of streamlining into this, coming into alignment. I'm feeling September in alignment, about realigning. And so this is all as we are still moving through the energies of that new moon in Virgo here in Virgo season, still feeling the pull of those energies while we have all this new on the horizon. This week ahead marks we'll have a new month come in. Within this month, we have a new season coming in with the autumn equinox. So there's just a lot of shifting and changing in the wind. And of course, we have our ode to the autumn with the changing of the leaves and the release and cycle that represents so beautifully in nature. So what I'd like to do is I'm trying to commit to tuning into some of these gorgeous decks I have that I haven't had much of a chance to work with. This is a beautiful deck, Odin's Playbook by Danielle Norman. It is absolutely gorgeous. All of her decks are. In fact, I have her Walking Meditation Tarot pre-ordered. I can't wait to receive that one coming up soon too. But I'm going to go ahead and just start shuffling this while I tell you a little bit about. It's been a while since I've done this little 5-card spread that I do for week ahead energies, where we kind of have a card for each day of the week, Monday through Friday, and we feel into the overarching energies for the week, kicking off with Monday. Then we move into Tuesday with potential challenges or blocks that may come up in the week. Wednesday, a midweek blessing. Thursday, how are we growing? And then Friday, we wrap it all up with a wrap up for the week. And then I'm going to pull an oracle card. So let's go ahead and get those 5 cards. And again, with collective readings, we're tapping into that collective energy. So some aspects may resonate more than others, and you're always welcome to take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's check in here with those energies that we have coming in Monday, Tuesday, potential challenges. We've got Wednesday, midweek blessing. Thursday, how are we growing? And Friday, a wrap up for the week. Ooh, nice. Okay. So, and also these energies can be throughout the week. They're not stuck with each day of the week. It's just a matter of these energies sort of positioning in each one of the positions on the spread. So we have this amazing high priestess energy in the CRS coming up here. And so this is all about connecting in with our intuition. And that is something that has been coming up a lot when it comes to this Virgo new moon energy and the energy of the Virgin goddess. This idea of really coming into wholeness and independence. So really discernment is a key word that's been coming up a lot, and feeling into our own intuition, our own inner knowing. And so this week ahead is an extension of that energy coming in here. So you may be finding that you're getting some pretty clear intuitive hits about things. You're feeling things that aren't perhaps aligning with what is. So things are coming up, crossing your path, and they're just not feeling right, or they do feel right, and you're following your gut, you're following your intuition. So there's definitely this nod to connecting in with intuition and your own inner knowing. And one of the things that the high priestess says is, what are you asking me for? You already know. So to the extent that you may be mulling over decisions or considering things, steps ahead, paths that you're looking to take, and maybe you're soliciting a lot of advice, or you're asking other people, or you're sort of looking for signs, or in some way putting the power outside of you, there's an invitation for you to really sit with and tune into how it feels for you, and really using that word alignment as a guide to say, is is this step, is this move, is this decision in alignment with my goals, in alignment with where I'm heading, and kind of use that as your gauge from there. So now how can we possibly see a potential challenge or block? And we have a reverse card here in the Poet of Horns. Now, I believe the horns are the cups. So we've got the Page of Cups here. So right away, I'm getting like a youthful energy, of course, with the pages. And I know today my kids went back to school. A lot of people are having back to school this week. And even if you don't have young people in your life, or you yourself are a student or returning back to some fall routine, there is that energy in the world. I'm even thinking like, I remember when I worked a distance from my home and I drove through 4 different school districts. And so just the traffic alone that came from the buses running and, just more cars on the road and all those things threw a little wrench in my works. So just from the most basic level, we talk about what could potentially be challenging this week, shifting and changing in schedules and things occurring, and the emotions too that can come with that. So there can be a lot of feels, bittersweet, whether it is about summer coming to an end. We can kind of feel that pull of, that's a wrap on summer. The fall is definitely coming in full force here in the northern hemisphere. Of course, in the southern hemisphere, you'll be having the spring equinox. But just that shift in seasons and how that is palpable. And there's different emotions that can come with that because it marks one ending. There's certain things I certainly am going to miss about the season that is closing. And yet there are things that I'm really looking forward to about the next season that's coming. And so, coming up in this challenged position, in a position that talks about what challenges or blocks we may face this week, I think there's some juggling in kind of getting into flow, into alignment. Here comes that word again, in things that could be coming up in your life that are presenting a challenge to you this week, that can also bring up some emotion, And so when we again are navigating those things, we tune into our inner knowing. What are you asking me for? You already know, right? So it's like we tune in and say, we move through these cycles, we move through these seasons, and the more we can be in flow with those things, it's about determining how we're going to experience the thing, whatever comes up that could be challenging or blocking for you this week. Now let's take a look at what might be a midweek blessing. We have the Chariot. So there is movement here. There's definitely movement coming in. And I love how it's depicted here. We have this ship with the sail, and we've got a white and black bird. So there's that duality. Just as in the traditional chariot, we have aspects of dark and light, of yin and yang, balancing out and moving forward. And so I think that some things that may have been feeling stuck, including emotions, again, feelings of feeling stuck, could be coming to an end. A blessing this midweek could be some movement in an area that may have been stagnant for a while. Again, when seasons change, when routines change, it can typically be a good shakeup to kind of light a little fire under you to get you moving in a direction and, adjusting your sails. I'm kind of getting that because we see here that these seas are rather choppy. And again, water is emotion. So when we're in more turbulent times, when we're in high tides or rising tides, I think there's an aspect here of adjusting our sails and getting back on track. So I think that a midweek blessing is that some of these changes that can initially be a little sticky, some feels, some things to work out, will ultimately be something that helps to get things moving again in a positive direction. Now, the Thursday energy is about how am I growing? And this is awesome. We've got the Magician. So in this spread, we have 4 out of 5 cards are major arcana cards. So that's denoting this is a significant pivotal time. We have this new moon energy. This is the time for us to be really feeling into setting those intentions. What are we manifesting? But, even further looking into the Virgo energy of wholeness within our bodies. And so that's all aspects of our body: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and bringing those things into harmony, bringing those things into alignment, right? And so the magician says, you have all the tools you need. They're all here. You just have to have a willingness to use them, to hone your skills, to work them. And so what tools do you have there sitting out on the table that you could dust off, that you could to pull back out and give a go, you know? And I'm definitely feeling this feeling of the tree. There's no leaves here, so it's like the leaves have already fallen from the tree. I'm getting definite like late fall feels here. So I feel like this week you're going to be potentially having an opportunity to pick up some old tools or really work on honing some things that are going to be really that magic that you're making is going to be coming into fruition for you into the fall. There's an aspect of that that's coming up too. So some things that you're wanting to create, some things that you're wanting to bring in. And with that, I'll say, I didn't mention the energy sprays I'm working with here today. These are, of course, the gorgeous healing energy sprays by Angelic Celestial Colors that I work with in my Metatron color healing. I know we've got a little sheen there, but this is the Lemon Joy Energy, and this is the Sapphire Divine Peace. And so I wanted to bring in the aspects of joy and peace, because again, these changes, these shifts, this newness is happening. How am I going to experience it? And so I want to experience it to the best of my ability in the vibration of joy and peace. I want to bring in those higher vibrational aspects because I could go kicking and screaming. There's so much that's going to be on my plate. Things are going to get fast paced. I'm not ready for it. I can't believe it's here already. The summer flu, whatever it is. Bringing in the energies of joy and peace and using those things to create the magic, using those things to hone my skills and use my tools. I often talk about the magician having an aspect of, you know, what am I putting in the cauldron? This brew, this magical brew that I'm making, I'm only going to put into the cauldron those things that are going to yield the results that I am wanting to bring in forward, what I want to manifest. So I want to bring in more joy. I want to bring in more peace. I want to bring in greater alignment. So I'm going to use things that are going to help me to that end. So a blessing of how you're growing is the awareness of that. Are you going to get it right every time? No. And that's why the magician says you must have a willingness to make mistakes, because you're going to try something and it might not work. You're going to hit the ground running with a new routine and it might fizzle out, right? Ebbs and flows. It is the natural cycle of life. So give yourself some grace, right? And really take a look at the idea that you have more tools and abundance around you than perhaps you realize is what I'm feeling there. And so as we move into the end of the week, new, the Fool, setting out on a new adventure. And it's catching my eye here that one of those ships is down there. So again, something that is coming into focus for you this week, we have a nod to it happening here. You're going to be setting off on a new adventure that is going to be getting you closer and closer to that end. You know, your ship will be coming in. And so it really feels like as we move through, and we're just talking about this week's energy right now, but as we kick off the new month, as we work towards the new season coming in, there's going to be opportunities for you to really get some alignment and course correction going on here, where you might be kind of getting back on track, realigning with a journey or something completely new that you've never explored before. There's just this real beautiful positive energy around this but moving forward again, not being held back by the fear of making a mistake, of fumbling, of it not working out, because the joy is in the journey, right? It is in the process. And that's something that came up actually. I did a new moon reading, which I decided to share with everyone. It was for my August Empowerment Pack participants. So the people who booked the empowerment pack with me for the month of August. They received 3 readings, including a full reading on the month ahead energies of what to expect for them personally throughout August, a reading for working with the full moon, and then a reading for the new moon. And the new moon reading, I decided to share with everyone the collective aspects of that reading because there were some really powerful messages that came up. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, I will put the link here with this video. And so there was a lot of talk in that about the idea that bringing things into alignment and sort of setting out to do things that what we're taking with us and what we're not, you know. And so this idea of having this beautiful mindset of coming from a place of joy and peace and positivity. It's about what we put into it as far as what's coming with us. You know, he only has so much room in that knapsack, that little carrier that he has with him there, that he's bringing with him. And so this is a change. This is a difference of a change in the wind. Again, I get this. This is a shifting time. We're in transition. And so when we're in transition, again, feels can come up. It feels unfamiliar. It feels ungrounded. We might feel just like we're out of our depths. And yet there's this trust. There's this understanding that whatever occurs, and I think that's what I was trying to say, because I lost my thought of what I wanted to say about what came up in the reading. The ladder, yes. So we had this card, thank you. We had this card that was the path. And it had this ladder that was leading up to this portal, this entrance point that was like, what's next? And it was about wrong by wrong climbing up the ladder. And so here he is, step by step. The Fool moves forward, trusting and having faith, even when we can't see what's on the next level, what's at the next step. We move forward trusting that no matter what happens, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, it's all a part of the journey, and that's really where the good stuff is. It's not just the end point. It's not just the ship that we're waiting to have come in. It's the steps along the way that make up the journey. So that is a nod here again of what's coming next. This Friday wrap up, I'm feeling that energy here again as well, which again is an extension of the messages that did come up in that new moon reading. So now what I'd like to do is, because along with that, we talked a lot about peace. And this is another beautiful deck. It's called Unshakeable Inner Peace Oracle Cards. And I love this idea because we talk about bringing our own peace and harmony, holding that within. High Priestess is showing us there as well, this aspect of, you know, tuning into our own source of peace, our own source of harmony, regardless of what's going on around us. However this week shakes out for you, here is unshakable inner peace that we can bring forward with us. So I'd like to go ahead and get us an oracle message to sort of punctuate this reading for this next week ahead. So let's go ahead and get that card for unshakable inner peace for this week ahead. Okay. Ooh, I love it. You can radically change your results by shifting your beliefs. Yes. What belief is limiting you? This is what I'm talking about. This thing is happening, right? This turbulent waters are happening. These things are churned up. It's occurring. How can I experience it? How will I experience it? And I'm getting a nod again to the High Priestess energy here with this number 2. This aspect also of duality. This and that are true. This thing can be hard. This thing can be stressful. This thing can be all of that lower vibrational stuff, while simultaneously also being one of the greatest things that ever happened, because it pushed me, it nudged me, it launched me to the next level, to the next step, whatever it is. So, you know, when we're in a moment and we're experiencing something, feeling, whatever it is, how can we radically change our results by shifting our beliefs, simply shifting our perspective. And that's something that I'm feeling coming up a lot as well, because like I said, find the joy in the journey. Bring your own peace. And so as you move through, as you navigate, you do so from that frequency, from that vantage point. So if I set out with that expectation, I'm bringing that to the party, right? Where conversely, if I'm bringing a lot of doom and gloom and low vibrational energy that's going to say it's going to be hard, it's going to be stressful, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be whatever, I'm casting that spell. That's what I'm putting in the cauldron. So the magician says again, what are you putting in there? And if you're putting in the highest vibrational expectations and beliefs, that is what you're working with. So I think that's just a perfect message to really round out this week ahead energy, because both this and that can be true. It can be hard, it can be stressful, but it can also be beautiful and transformative, and really, like, what I'm feeling most importantly just for this week is it can be motivational. It can be movement making, like it's creating waves, but those waves are going to be the things that get you to the next level. And that's actually why I did bring in this third energy, the higher self connection and attunement, awareness and intuition spray, because my goal is to experience this week and these things, riding those waves from this vantage point, right? From that place, that perspective that holds the belief, the understanding that everything that's unfolding is happening for me. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. How am I going to experience it? And that's what I get to decide. I get to decide what's coming with me, just like this Fool energy. And it looks very bright. It looks beautiful no matter what. So that is what I have coming up here for this next week ahead. Another thing that is happening this week, if you haven't seen already, I am offering a special 4th reading free for the month of September. If you'd like to join me for the September Empowerment Packs, they are booking now. And what comes with that September Empowerment Pack is going to be 3 readings throughout the month, kicking it off with a September energy report, checking in with your energy, what's ahead for you for this month, beginning, middle, and end, with supporting oracle cards and healing aspects that we bring into your video recorded reading, packed with information. Then we have a reading for the full moon, and we'll have a reading for the new moon. But this month, if you book by September 1st, so that's only in 2 days, you will receive a 4th reading free. It is the autumn equinox reading. So that's going to be in itself its own full spread, packed with information for you for the autumn equinox and the season ahead. So if you'd like to join me, I would love to have you. Please feel free to click the link here to book before September 1st so you can take advantage of that special with the free 4th reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you. I'm sending you all so much love and many blessings. Till next time.